if I could go back to before my first upload, here is what I would say to myself. So, number one, don't overthink. And number two, don't make it too long. And number three, don't expect instant results. So let's break these mistakes that I made down. So the first mistake is I overthink. Overthink, is that a word? I was overthinking everything. Okay, I am a serial overthinker. I am guilty of it. I confess. It's just one of those things. Some people, their brains just keep going and keep going. And yeah, it's really not good because it leads to paralysis analysis. It essentially will stop us in our tracks and prevent us from moving forward, because what is happening is we're spending so much time inside here and we're not spending any time outside in the real world. Okay, so it's a natural process. This is how we do things in life, is we have thoughts inside our head and we then actualize them. We bring them out into the world through action. And when you're overthinking everything, all you're doing is you're just thinking. You're not actually doing, and you don't progress in life without taking action. We have to actually do stuff. We have to start blending with the world and actually putting that energy out there and taking steps and doing things in order to get feedback, in order to get results, in order to get things coming back to us. So the second mistake that I made was I made my videos too long, and I also focused on polishing them up so much. So this happened on this exact channel here. What I'm doing right now is completely different from what I used to do. The first two videos that I did, I like scripted everything and I read it all word for word because I was overthinking and thought, it has to be so clear and so like to the point, to the words that I've chosen. And, by that very nature, I was like, it has to be this length. It can't be any shorter than this. And I have to make it super polished and put B-roll and all this stuff and little zooms and all this little jazz. And yeah, it just was unnecessary. I'm doing a much more raw, unscripted, as you can tell. This is just off the cuff. I have bullet points here to guide me, but I'm able to be free finally. I'm not shackling myself with the chains of being a perfectionist and making sure that everything's all polished and has all the bells and whistles. It's not necessary, especially if you're like me and you're a new creator and you're starting out. We just want to get reps in, we want to get lots of practice in. And if you're focusing on making your videos, like if you're making your videos too long and you're focusing on polishing them up and tarting them up, it's just going to hold you back. It's going to hold back your progress. So that's one thing that I would tell myself. Just don't make stuff too long. Keep it short, keep it concise, and don't polish it up so much. It doesn't need that extra polish. No one's really going to compliment you on it. So third mistake that I made was a really common one, is expecting instant results. And for me, this was really backed up by the fact that this is my second channel. So I actually created my first ever YouTube channel about 6 months ago, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was actually very fortunate because the theme or niche that I'd sort of fell into or chosen was one that actually lended itself to get quick results. And the reason for that is because it's very specific, it's very niched down, it's very searchable. There are people searching for that type of, it's basically a travel channel. It's a travel channel based on car camping, where me and my wife did a car camping road trip around Europe. Okay, that's what started it all. So it's a very searchable thing. There's other people out, you've maybe never heard of it, but there's other people out there who are interested in camping in their car or going on long road trips in their car. And yeah, it's a real like niche within the travel niche, but it's very specific and there's lots of people searching for it, but there's not necessarily like a lot of supply. So it comes back to this supply and demand. There's a lot of demand for that content, but there's not tons of supply. So early on out the gate, I was able to get views, and because I'd never done YouTube before, I just thought, oh, this must be normal. You know, this is really good, but it must be normal. So when I started this channel, I obviously had expectations that I was going to get instant results, and boy, was I schooled on that mistake. Yeah, so even as it stands, I'm doing a 30-day challenge here. I've got strong reasonings for doing that. I'm basically uploading videos daily for 30 days on this channel, and I'm doing that to train the algorithm. So because I am in the niche, this channel is in a niche in a sense where it's educational content to help aspiring creators, or help people go from being a consumer to a creator, like the journey that I've been on essentially, and sharing that advice. There's a lot of people doing that, and there's a lot of overlap and crossover, but it's also still quite abstract as well. So it doesn't necessarily always lean into the to getting visibility by people searching for it, because there's obviously a lot of established channels doing similar things. So you're really banking on being recommended by YouTube, and that takes time. It takes a lot of time to build up that trust. So it's going to be a lot tougher to get results on this channel, which I have learned, but I'm going to put the work in. I'm like a dog without a bone here. I'm going to put the work in, and I'm going to get those results, but I'm not expecting instant results now. And that's exactly what I would tell myself if I could go back before my first upload on this channel. I would tell myself, do not expect instant results, because that's why I had a gap in this channel in terms of uploads, because one, I wasn't getting the results I wanted, and two, I'd started out by putting out content that wasn't a right fit for me, but I also wasn't spending enough time experimenting and finding out what was a right fit for me. And thankfully now I've done that, so it's great, it's fantastic. But there's a couple of mistakes that I made. So I've got some more points that are really going to help you here if you're starting out on YouTube, or you're thinking about starting a channel on YouTube. So I made a couple of notes about what I wish I actually knew back then. So one of the interesting points is, I wish that I knew that you'll never be 100% ready. Okay, like a lot of us are waiting for this perfect time, or we're waiting until we're ready to start posting content on YouTube. That's not the case. You'll never be ready. You'll only be ready after you actually start uploading. If you're waiting to be ready, or you're waiting to be perfect, you will be waiting forever. And I mean that 100%. That's certain. That is certain that you will be waiting forever. But if you take that leap of faith, and you're consistent, and you're clear about who your content is for, and you can experiment as well when you start out, but if you start to build up more clarity as time goes on, as to, oh, okay, I really enjoy making this content, and this is who this content best serves, and I'm going to keep making videos around that audience and around that particular theme, that particular niche, then over time you are going to get results. But you're not going to be 100% ready, especially before you start. I don't even know if you're ever 100% ready. I'll tell you when I find out. Another thing that I wish I knew is that your first video is just the start. It's just the start, and it's the start of a really long journey. Because if you're like me, you want to start a YouTube channel, or you want to build your YouTube channel for the long term. You want this to be a sustainable long-term thing. You're not looking for like short-term success. What's the point in that? If you want to do that, go and do YouTube shorts, or go and do some other short-form content. We're looking for long-term results. We're looking for long-term impact as well. We're looking to reach like-minded people, to grow an audience of like minds, and to be able to share something that we're passionate about, that we could talk about endlessly. We want to share that with our people, with our tribe. That's what we're looking to do, and we're looking to do that over the long term. So your first video is just the start of a long journey, and that is awesome. It's actually quite beautiful. So Another thing that I wish I knew is viewers are not judging you as hard as you are judging yourself. And this not only applies to YouTube, but just applies to life. We are our worst critics. We are so harsh on ourselves. We notice all of the blemishes and it makes us so self-conscious. But 99% of the time, other people are so wrapped up in their own worlds and in their own self-doubt that they don't notice these things, okay? So one of the things that really stopped me from actually uploading was the fear of putting myself online, putting myself out to the public, and people being able to say whatever they wanted, okay? To judge me, to say you're not good enough, to be seen by friends and family, or even to be seen by complete strangers. And that fear stopped me from actually uploading until I pushed past the fear, until I decided, do you know what? If I don't do this, I'm gonna be so filled with regret and I'm gonna wish I'd actually done it. Screw the fear. Like, screw whatever anybody else says. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, and that's the kind of mindset that you want to adopt. But know that people are not judging you as hard as you're judging yourself. Okay, and I hope that gives you some peace of mind. So what should you do going forward? So you really want to upload, even if it's not perfect. We're not aiming for perfect videos here, especially when we start. I talk about this all the time in my videos. We're looking for good enough, especially at the start. So let's say 100% is perfect, 80% is good enough. Even as like a brand new creator for your first video, 50% is completely fine. Like 50% good, that's totally fine for your first video because it's all about practice. No one's watching anyway. It's all about being in the field, practice, getting your first upload out there, adopting a forward-looking mindset and looking ahead. Work on a video, like say work on a mile. Let's reframe this. Let's work on like a 50 video goal, okay, or like 100 video milestone. Let's just focus on getting those first 30 videos, or like I'm doing with this 30-day challenge, or those first 50 videos, or those first 100 videos. Let's look ahead. Let's make a video. It's done. We've uploaded it. Move on to the next one. Make it. It's good enough. It's done. Upload it. On to the next one. That is what we want to do. We're not looking for perfect because it is going to hold you back. And no one, when you're starting out, is going to comment and say, gosh, I'm so glad that you went that extra, 20% effort to go from 80% to 100% because this video is perfect. It's just so unlikely. So unlikely. We need to be realistic here or we're going to get burnt out and we're going to quit our YouTube journey, and we don't want to do that. And what you can even do is if you, let's say that you're still really struggling with perfectionism and you have it in your head that you want a video to be perfect until you upload it, okay, let's say you're stuck in that camp, then what you can do is build up to public uploads. So you don't necessarily need to upload all of your videos to the general public. So let's say we're doing a 30 video challenge. We want to create our first 30 long form videos. So, but we are telling ourselves, well, I'm not going to make the video, I'm not going to upload it until it's perfect. I want my first YouTube public upload to be perfect. Let's say that is your mindset. Well, what you can do is you can create your first 30 videos or 30 videos and make them private, make them unlisted. This is a feature on YouTube. When you upload a video, it's basically the final step, I believe. You essentially choose how the visibility of your video. Is it going to go public and be seen by anyone and go out anywhere on YouTube? Is it going to be unlisted? So that means that anyone with the link to your video can see the video, but it's not actually on the YouTube feed. YouTube's not going to recommend it. Or is it going to be private? And that means only you can see it and only the people who you share it with privately can see it. They can't share the link to see the video. So you can build up to your perfect video, your first public video, by using this feature. And the great thing about that is that when you actually finally realize, oh, that I've been chasing perfection, but it doesn't exist, when that penny drops in your head, you then have these 30 videos sitting there that you can just, at the click of a button, make them public. So it's a win-win. So to close out on this video, that first video that you make unlocks everything. It really does. It's the hardest thing is getting started, but once you get started, momentum starts to take over and all of those fears and limiting beliefs start to dissolve, and that's fantastic. Because if I hadn't uploaded my first video, I wouldn't be here making this one, and that is the honest truth. So if you want to know the 3 mindset shifts that helped me finally actually start uploading content on YouTube, I've made a whole video about these 3 mindset shifts that are going to help you start your YouTube channel. So click here to watch the whole video, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.